俺たちを超えるのか。じゃあ。Yes! I can win! I feel great! I can do this!
Savage. And we're back. Chapter 1000. That's 10 hundo for anybody that's been following the channel. We're at the 4-digit mark now. We're the 4-digit boys. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to thank everybody that came to the live stream for 1000. I had Chrissy drop by. It became a dual stream. We did a whole bunch of Q&As towards the end of it. If you haven't checked that out, you know, I mean, it's 4 hours. I don't expect everybody to watch all of it, but for my extended thoughts on 1000, since I expect this to be, I plan on making this a quick video. We'll see what happens. I always say that. But I don't really have the time to edit it this week. Because, as most of you know, I've been expecting my son, and yes, savage. Yeah, I have a son. He's here. He's here. I'm a dad. You know, it's wild. Exciting things afoot. So I wanted to talk about 1000. I wanted to, you know, now the official's out, right? So some things have been clarified and all of that. You know, a chapter as monumental as 1000, you want to read as many translations as you can to sort of, you know, fill the picture of what Oda wanted. And one of the key takeaways from the official was one of Ace's lines, where he talks about Luffy's dream, and he says that whatever this dream is, which is still unknown to us, that this is the end of Luffy's dream. So that, you know, the first part is that he wants to be the Pirate King. But then after he becomes the Pirate King, there's this end part, right? And now, the main thing here is, in my mind, is that he just wants to be free. And maybe that also kind of ties into that he wants others to be free. Which will give Luffy the motivation to take on the world government in the final war, because they're oppressing the people. They have slaves, all of this. And if he demolishes that, then, you know, someone like Vivi can come in and, you know, reshape the government, and Kobe can reshape the Marines, and, you know, and then everybody's a happy family, happy world by the end of the series. I think that that's what would make people laugh, because there's a parallel many people may know. At the end of post-war, the flashback of Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, Luffy declares what his dream is, but we don't see, you know, it sort of trails off, birds fly off into the distance, and Ace and Sabo are dumbfounded. And the implication is that he said he wanted to become the Pirate King, but we know after the Odin flashback, when Roger did the exact same thing, even paralleled with the birds, you know, going off into the distance, and we see Whitebeard, and we see Odin's reaction to it, that's not the case. And also the Pirate King was a title given to Roger by the government and the Marines, and or even, you know, who knows, Morgans. The idea here is that Roger and Luffy had the same dream, and the dream is also paralleled with Joy Boy. And I'm not going to spend too much on that. One thing that I really want to talk about is actually the hype surrounding 1000. I've been obviously very busy the past, 2 weeks, but, I've seen things in the community where some people are actually disappointed with 1000. And I get it. It was overhyped, right? Not necessarily. Everybody, people wanted a Rocks flashback. They wanted something from God Valley, a reveal of Rocks. And it seemed like that was a direction that it could go. There's the thing that you have, Roger was introduced in Chapter 1, Dragon Chapter 100, Rayleigh Chapter 500, Chapter 1000. Everybody thought it was going to be Zebek, or, some thought Scopper Gaban. Some thought, Dragon would show up again. I thought that was possible. But Oda surprised us. And the way that he surprised us was by actually playing it safe. Chapter 1000 is actually the introduction of Straw Hat Luffy. So it's Roger, Dragon, Rayleigh, Luffy. 1, 100, 500, 1000. This is an extremely smart and safe way to go about it by Oda. It's almost like restarting the series. Like, everything going forward from now is Dragon Ball Z, and, you know, everything before it was Dragon Ball. The time skip was not the indication there. During the live stream, it was pointed out to me by Aravind that the panel of Luffy at the end of the chapter is a complete parallel to Shanks right before he puts the hat on Luffy, showing this sort of transformation that Luffy has gone into over 1,000 chapters. But I want to see this now. I want to see this. I want to see Shanks holding the hat the same. Yeah, oh man, there it is. Everybody, if you look at the last page of chapter 1000, Luffy is doing this. What an amazing parallel. It's amazing. It's brilliant work by Oda. But I want to dive even further into the psychology, the methodology, and even essentially the marketing behind this, right? So, because I don't expect a lot of people to talk about this or think about this, because, you know, it's like, I work in the film industry, as, you know, many know, and have seen the videos I've been doing on the Netflix series. But take, for instance, Avatar, right? Now, my favorite film director of all time is James Cameron. And James Cameron is, you know, he's the sequel king. You know, all of his movies are great. You know, say what you will about, you know, if you don't like Titanic, whatever, if you don't like Avatar, so be it. But, you know, the Terminator films, Aliens, True Lies, like, this man has hit after hit after hit. So when James Cameron, after not making a movie for almost 10 years, comes out with Avatar, and it's the first 3D movie, there's a lot of hype, right? It blew box office records, you know, became the highest grossing film of all time because of the hype. James Cameron coming back, first 3D movie, sci-fi. You know, this is just, it's a recipe for success. There's action, etc. It was something to get people to go to the theaters. And when people went and saw it, they were, I guess, maybe expecting something a little more nuanced. Something with maybe some more twists and turns that they weren't expecting. What they got was a relatively safe movie. Not that I personally believe that Avatar is a bad movie, but I will agree that it was a safe film. And I think that that kind of comes with the territory of making the first 3D movie. You know, it's more about perfecting the technology than it was necessarily crafting maybe the best story. You know, the people wanted to call it Fern Gully and Pocahontas mixed together, all of this. Chapter 1000 is essentially the Avatar of One Piece. And that's not an insult. What it is no matter what Oda was going to do, there were going to be people that were going to be disappointed. Because unless he, you know, had Luffy become the Pirate King, or, you know, completely defeat Kaido, or have, you know, Dragon and Rocks and all this other stuff show up and the Grand Fleet, like, everybody was going to just be like, okay, so he punched Kaido. No. That's what makes Chapter 1000 incredible. All of that. He reintroduced this because here's the thing. The same way that Avatar brought new and old fans of film, or James Cameron to begin with, to the theaters that may have not even seen his work, but we're just like, you know, like, hey, let's go and see this film, right? That's what Chapter 1000 is likely going to do for people across the world. Like, they may have never even heard of One Piece until they heard that this manga or this story actually has 1,000 chapters now. And yeah, there are probably places in the world and people in the world that don't know that One Piece exists, especially in America. But yeah, so you're going to get someone that's going to pick up that issue of Shonen Jump and look at One Piece for the first time because it's 1,000, and they're going to see if it's going to hook them. So that's why Oda made this very safe, straightforward chapter that had not only, some elements that hundreds of chapters from now we may be able to come back and look at and say, wow, this was some excellent foreshadowing, and we'll be able to do our deep dives and praise Oda for everything that he does later on. But what this was a love letter to anybody that's picking up the series for the first time, in my opinion, because it's introducing you to the main character. You have all of the elements of what One Piece is, the characterizations, and it's just really hyping up this story. And if you're new, like you're getting fights, which is probably why you're picking up a shonen manga in the first place, right? For me, One Piece isn't about the fights, but someone picking up for the first time, they're probably going to want that. And Red Rock was an excellent attack. This is different. Pointed it out in my live stream. I'm like, this is different. This is something that we have not seen this before. So it'll be interesting. Now we have the Gear 3rd version of Red Hawk. What's the Gear 4th version of Red Hawk going to look like? And obviously he's likely using some Ryo on this. The anime is going to go nuts with this. I can't wait. But essentially I wanted to bring that parallel to you guys. This idea, to sort of quell this hesitation in the community that 1,000 wasn't what everybody wanted. You're watching this video. You read all 1,000 chapters. You may not have wanted this reintroduction to Luffy. You already know who he is. But the thing is that you needed it. And you can't always get what you want, but you always get what you need. All right? And Luffy, strolling between two Yonko, two emperors, was one of the most gangster things in the entire series. So, I love it. I love it.
Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
So why come here?
I just come to let y'all know, put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
And then we, one interesting parallel, which I don't think is necessarily on purpose, but something that, visually came to my mind. We have 5 people up there now, right? When has this happened before? Mentioned this in the stream as well. It reminded me of Skypiea. Enel played his game, right? And at the end of it, he said that there would be 5 people. Those 5 were, surprisingly, to subvert expectations. Everybody thought Luffy would be one of those 5 people. He wasn't, because he was in the snake. But the 5 people were Zoro, Robin, Wiper, Gonfall, and Nami. Here we have Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Law, and to subvert expectations, we have Killer. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It also doesn't necessarily play into the prophecy from Toki, who said that 9 shadows would appear. So could this be either foreshadowing that 4 more people are going to get to the top of the roof, or does it mean that Kaido is not going to be defeated until there are 9 people, and that this fight may go awry until they do a rematch and have the 9 that they need? These are the questions. But after this chapter, everything's looking good. It looks like we may be able to defeat Kaido. And I've always felt that if we were going to beat anybody out of, these 2 Yonko, we were going to beat Kaido and maybe not Big Mom. I still feel that way. But with Luffy's confidence, what it is, it would be anticlimactic if we lost here. Now, after reading 1,000, a failure here would be anticlimactic. Yeah. But I still feel like we need that all is lost moment to kind of catapult us, that Sabaody moment. End of Marineford. We need something like that to really push us into the next saga. And maybe this isn't the place for it. Maybe everything's going to go fine here, and we'll have that all as a lost moment later on. But what a phenomenal chapter. My favorite chapter of the year is still 995, because I'm a sucker for character development for characters that don't usually get their shine. So the Usopp and Nami moments of those chapters were still just incredible, and the return of Tama, which serves my own agenda. TTK boys. I'd still like that to happen, but at the same time, let's start off with just trying it out on some of the Toby Ropo first, right? Let's get Usopp throwing some dangos. So we got 10 Hundo and 1 coming soon. I'm excited. The story can go anywhere now. I didn't expect Zoro to get up there. I thought Oda was going to, continue to halt him, have him work his way up, fight some other people, and then get up there later. No, that was a subversion. For me, it was a great surprise. Zoro's on the roof. It's amazing. He's going to open Kaido's scar. Can't wait. And let's just talk about how Zoro got yeeted up there in the first place, right? I think that's yeet number 3 for Onigashima. We had King. Let's do a countdown for the best yeets of 2020, right? I think coming in at number 3, we've got Kaido yeeting Kawamatsu. In number 2, I'm gonna have to go with the yeet of Shinobu by King. Yep, great yeet, great form, 10 out of 10. But I got to give the 11 out of 10 to Marco because he yeeted Zoro while also holding off 2 Yonko commanders.
Savage.
That's my boy. Marco the Phoenix. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about in the chapter, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that do what I do, and their videos have been out for like 2 weeks. So I just wanted to say hi, let everybody that was wondering know that, yes, my son Marshall, is in the world. Yeah. And, thanks to everybody that, super chatted some diaper money. It's going to use. And that's it. Happy New Year, everybody. Continue to stay safe. We are still in a pandemic. And, hopefully 2021 is a better year than 2020. But as far as One Piece is concerned, it was a good year for One Piece. I think 2019 might have been better. But 2020 is still a solid year for One Piece. And, especially for me, because I have the opportunity to connect with all of you. And were it not for the pandemic, I may not have, really gone about, this hobby. But I love it, Jeez, 1,000 chapters, everybody. Can we just take a second? 1,000. I was a teenager in high school in the early 2000s when I found out about One Piece. It was like 2000 or 2001 when I found out. And by the time 2002, 2003 came along, I was already caught up. I was part of the Arlong Park team as an admin, updating the site. And was working for Kaizoku Fan Subs, doing QC work, and picking some of the fonts that did the karaoke, and man, what a time, Those were good days. Those were good days. I plan on doing a series of videos about the old days, because I mentioned in the stream, and people thought that it'd be interesting to talk about old theories that never came true that people had, and just what it was like years ago. How did we absorb the series? How did we get the chapters? How did this happen? That's something that I plan to get out at some point. Granted, with my son, my releases are going to be a little, more delayed than usual, because, it's like I if I've got the time, I've got the time. I still want to get something out each week, that a chapter comes out at least, just to keep connecting with everybody. And because this is fun for me. This is why I do it. I'm having fun. And I love connecting with everybody. We got the Discord now. You can find me over there. I pop in now and again, and keep the conversation going there. But yeah, that's it, guys. There's not going to be a lot of editing in this one, because I've got to get to young Mars over there. But I thank you, everybody, for your support. We made it to 1,000. This is awesome. Take care, everybody, and stay safe.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.